into another edition of the original Roundtable here on Disrupt the Media. Like and subscribe with Ian Fitzsimmons from ESPN. I'm Lance Taylor from the Next Round. It's presented by Bookie. Use that code NEXTROUND to secure a first deposit bonus on the house. MyBookie.ag. What's up, friend? I see the Utah Utes.
Dude,
hoodie.
Hey, you got me right now, man. This is full on like prep radio mode. I mean, no, didn't shave, right? Didn't change. I mean, the hell with it. I was like, you know what? LT doesn't care. Let's go.
But where's the UCLA love? So you're heading to Salt Lake, your old stomping ground. I actually came out there and did a show with you way back in the day. And by the way, I didn't get to go to the stadium. I went past the stadium though. And that is
straight to the No Name Saloon up to the Utah.
That is one of the Rice Eccles. I mean, just the backdrop and everything. But I mean, the production on the field, they don't lose home games.
No, man, they're good. They're really good. And before we get into it and everything going on, because I'm curious to get your thoughts on what the hell's going on at Bama, because you got boots on the ground. I don't. But man, I highly recommend. The reason we couldn't do this on Tuesday is because I had to wait on Kyle Whittingham. Well, I didn't have to wait on Kyle. He was on time. But I had to wait for Carson Steele, who's averaging around 8 yards a carry for UCLA. I mean, this dude, they got a three-headed monster at running back. Three guys.
Yeah, the kid from Ball State.
Yeah, I mean, he's awesome. So this dude, he has got an alligator named Crocky J.
No, wait. He owns an alligator?
He owns a pet alligator. This kid is awesome. I mean, he's already early on the all-hug team, man, and I haven't even met him yet. I can't wait to actually.
How do you travel with an alligator, or does the alligator stay back home?
Okay. Hang on, Coach. Hang on. So Grandma keeps the alligator, Crocky J, back in Indiana. But he'll go back and visit and whatnot. And when Grandma comes to games, they have family friends that will come and take care of Crocky J. He got this damn alligator when he was in first grade. It was about a half a foot long. It is now 5 feet long. And he actually holds he treats it like a puppy. When he goes home, he's like, oh, yeah, man, Crocky J and he's picking the alligator. I'm like, you can lose a limb, dude. 5 feet. 5 feet.
Did you tell him about Siegfried and Roy? Do you remember Siegfried and Roy? They loved their tigers until the tiger turned. Wild animal is a wild animal. And a 5-foot alligator, I mean, is it in a bathtub? Does he have an aquarium? Is it just out in the yard?
He's got a big old aquarium. And I asked him, what do you feed this thing? And he goes, you don't feed him protein chickens. He'll grow even bigger, right? So you have to, it's like organic-based foods and, whatnot. They have some like actual specific alligator food that they give them. And every now and then they'll throw them a little bit of, some raw meat just to let them get after it. But
neighbor's cat.
A random raccoon, right? Yeah, let's trap that son-of-a-bitch.
Crocky J. Where's the name Crocky J come from?
He was in first grade. He thought it sounded cool, right? So, and also he's got, as you mentioned, he's got the long flowing blonde locks, right? So I asked him, what is one of the worst things you've been called? He said, Fabio. I don't like that one.
But he was called. I was talking to Brock Heward from Fox earlier, and they're on the game on the TV side.
I know, yeah.
And he was calling him He-Man.
Yeah, dude. I mean, so he's got now. He doesn't mind that one. He doesn't like Baby Thor, but he'll talk to opposing crowds. I mean, he embraces it all. Like if he hears a good one, he'll be like, "That's a good one. I hate it, but that was funny." He likes Man of Steel. Last name, all that, but. Anyway, I promise you, he is so damn entertaining. I only had like 10 minutes with him. You guys can go longer for him. I promise you, everybody that will watch the next round will adore this dude. He is hilarious and a hell of a player.
Yeah, hey, we're on it. Looking forward to that game, 2:30, UCLA, Utah. This slate last week sucked. But this slate, so you were in Gainesville last week, right?
I was, man, and that. Look, I like Josh Heupel. We've known him a long time, going back to his playing days, right? But, man, that timeout at the end of the game, I had random coaches because I'm standing on the field with Graham Mertz. He's going to be my post-game interview, so the cameras were all over. I had random coaches from the Pac-12 to the damn MAC texting me going, what in the hell was Heupel doing? He almost caused a massive black eye for all of college football. If it wasn't for guys like Jabbar Jalouk, the running backs coach in Florida, and Darnell Stapleton, who won a Super Bowl, as you know, with the Pittsburgh Steelers, their O-line coach, he damn near got back in a three-point stance and went back to his playing days. Yeah. Telling his guys, get back on the bench. It was It almost was. We had 4 guys suspended anyway, LT, but it could have been so much worse. They had to go get the damn balls out of the locker room just to get 7 guys to snap the football. Heupel had no business calling that timeout. It was petty as hell, and it was almost the biggest story, not just in college football, but in sports, because it was that close to getting really
and I'm with you. I like Heupel. I like the fact that he doesn't give a shit. You talk about you're doing your radio prep right now, and you didn't shave. I mean, Heupel's one of those guys that he has never seen a treadmill. If he's got a treadmill at the house, it's got clothes hanging all off of it. So I've always been a Heupel guy, but I agree with you. It was Bush League. Take your beating. For whatever reason, Tennessee can't win down there. And congratulations to Billy Napier. Got a little heat off of him. They played well in the second half, and Florida's back being relevant, at least for this week.
Yeah, and you know what? I said this going into the game. LT, you and I talked about it last week. That wasn't a game that I think Napier had to have, but he needed to have. And there's a big difference because he hadn't beaten one of his 4 core rivals yet. But just give him patience, man. I mean, or Florida fans need to have patience. I'll give you a prime example. I'll give you 2 examples. Look at Texas fans after year 1 with Steve Sarkisian were like, fire him, get him out of here. Now look at it, right? Chris Del Conte does not listen to the people in the stands because as an athletic director, when you do, you're going to be sitting with them. See, Tennessee, right? When a certain coach right now at Rutgers and Greg Schiano was hired at Tennessee, there was an outcry by you guys, Clay Travis, right? Everyone else, he led the charge. The AD listened, now rescinds the offer, and they were in football purgatory again for 10 years. And Schiano, I think, would have been a winner at Tennessee. Now you had to wait for Heupel. Well, look at Mike Norvell at Florida State. Last year, this time, you still had Florida State fans wanting his butt fired. Now where is he? So patience, as John Wooden said, is the ultimate virtue. I don't really have it. You don't really have it. But if you're Scott Strickland, the AD at Florida, be patient with Knapp because he's building something, man. They're going to be good.
Hey, the original Roundtable with ESPN's Ian Fitzsimmons. I'm Lance Taylor. Disrupt the Media. Like, subscribe. It is brought to you by Lance's Lock. We're, by the way, 7-2-1 in the National Football League last week. We had a winning week again in college football. We will win for you. Jump on board at lanceslock.com. Phil Mickelson needs to call me. So we're going to go off script here.
I'm waiting on a text message. Every week I send you emails. Every week.
Okay. All you got to do is text me. Every time you text me and say picks, I send them to you.
How about just sending them to me?
I got so many people.
You don't have to ask for emails anymore on notes.
But if you didn't send them, I would be asking. But I appreciate
there's
that.
my point. I send them. Do I have to ask every week?
So
7-2-1 would have been nice. I got college to pay for.
Have you ever met Phil Mickelson?
Yes.
Look, we heard for years. He used to do, I forgot whose show it was.
Dan
where
Patrick.
He would come. Yeah, Dan Patrick. He'd come on and give his plays. Obviously, he's a terrible gambler because if you're wagering $1 billion and you publicly come out and say, I ain't betting the NFL anymore, he had a problem. So hopefully he'll recover and get over. And there are addiction problems. People are addicted to French fries. People are addicted to cigarettes. People are addicted to everything. So with that said, man, $1 billion.
2 for 2 right there with me and dipping. Dipping was the hardest thing I ever quit in my life, man. That was.
How long did that take you?
Dude, I used to dip during games.
Yeah, no, I remember you dipping all the time.
I know. I still chew gum and spit right into a cup when I'm on the air because.
Okay, so when's the last time you had a dip?
Whoo, Rowan's about to be 18, so 16 years ago.
Wow.
Yep. I mean,
I think tobacco, because it's so taboo and it's so bad for you.
It is.
And not that alcohol is necessarily good for you, but we had a coach in studio today and he's 27 years sober. And I was like, if I could do that, I look at my Amex statement every month and I have so many just different, not necessarily bars, but restaurants. And the bill is probably twice as much as it would be because of the alcohol on it.
You love your. Yeah,
I do.
Dinner, man. You like that bold red.
But people would die if they knew how much I'm spending at restaurants on that bold red. And I was like, man, I totally respect it. I can't do it because I'm very social. I enjoy it to begin with. And
it's not over the top, man. You're like Thursday, Friday, and then Saturday could be a blackout night, right? But I mean,
I can still get out there, my friend.
See, I don't miss it that much at all.
I mean, I haven't been thrown out of a bar in weeks.
Weeks.
I haven't been thrown out of bars in weeks.
Oh my God.
Hey, do you remember the night at the old tavern, the tavern up top? So we've still got the Village Tavern down low, but you were with your ex. I was with my ex.
Tell this story?
Yeah, I don't care. And I remember we were in the piano bar of the section. If anybody out there locally or anybody that's moved away from Birmingham might remember the old tavern up top.
2001.
Yeah, 2000 or 2001, exactly. And I remember they had the shoelace fry, which I love. But we were sitting in there, and that was back in the tequila shot days where we thought that was a good idea. But for whatever reason, I decided to take my shirt off on a Friday night. And the manager comes over, and he's like, hey, you need to put that back on.
You were swinging this like a lasso over your head.
Yeah, and I told him, hey, I don't need to. And he's like, yeah. And so I started whipping at him with the belt, and that's when they threw me out. And of course, you and it was either Chico or Brad Jackson are laughing your asses off, and all the women are pissed.
It was Chico, aka Spartacus. I mean, we didn't help you at all. Like, man, I was about to try and get you down off the piano, and Chico goes, "No, man, just let him go. Just let him be."
Yeah. Now those days are over.
There's nothing we can do.
Those days are, you know what? If you're heading out where you're going this weekend, I'll never forget when I came to see you in Salt Lake, and I came out there. My buddy Keith Ginter was playing the Bees. He was playing, I forgot what AAA team he was on at that time, but they were playing in Salt Lake.
Anaheim, I think, right?
I don't remember exactly what affiliation they were.
Yeah, because remember, Weaver had a no-no going. You and I met him up at Porter Call afterward, back in our hard charging days.
Yep.
So yeah, he had a no-no through like 8, and they pulled him for 7.
I do remember that now. Yeah. The thing I remember most about Salt Lake, beautiful city, but really strange alcohol laws. Like when I would sit down for a meal, if you bought a shot, you had to have like a meal with it, or you couldn't have 2 drinks. You couldn't have a shot and a beer.
You can't order a double, right? So what you had to do was you had to order your single. Like for you back then, I want to say it was vodka and soda, maybe. But anyway, you get your cocktail, and then you have to have a sidecar, so they pour a shot next to it. But you're only allowed 2 drinks at one time. So if you wanted a beer and a shot, you can do that, but you can't order doubles. So then you get the sidecar. But then from what I'm told, the suits out there who run all the alcohol, they got rid of the sidecars. You can no longer do that in Utah. So now it's just singles.
So it's gotten worse?
Well, look, man, trust me. When you go to Park City, if you want to get after it, whatever you're into, they got it.
Yeah.
Salt Lake, a little different. Park City, buckle your chin strap.
So, hey, we were talking to you. You asked me what's going on with Alabama, and we played this little drill in the game today. Which fan bases are in like high alert, high panic mode?
Let's get into it.
Yeah, an Alabama fan one of them said, like stroke level. And I believe that because you've already got a loss, a double-digit loss at home against Texas. Nick Saban's first double-digit loss ever in Tuscaloosa. Then you look so bad against South Florida, only 3 points in the first half, en route to a 17-3 game. Quarterbacks couldn't have been worse. Jalen Milroe will come back, and I think Alabama fans can get off we need another quarterback, because Milroe is definitely going to be your best option moving forward. But now you take on Ole Miss and Lane Kiffin. Look, man, I think he can be funny. I wouldn't want him as my head coach. The guy can call plays, but he likes to poke the cage. He's doing it again with Saban. But I think Alabama fans are really scared this weekend, Ian.
Should they be? What is it, 7 now?
It's 7. I don't know. I mean, if Alabama plays like they have played the last couple of weeks, their offensive line's given up 10 sacks in back-to-back, or 5 sacks in back-to-back games, 10 over the last 2 weeks. Ole Miss can get after the quarterback. Jackson Dart's a player. I mean,
they can tote it, man. I mean, obviously Judkins is one of the best not running backs just in the SEC, but in the country.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, I like Bama minus the points because people are talking up Ole Miss, but I'm not going to be surprised if Ole Miss wins the game.
You know how I am. I'm a contrarian. I like to be rooting with Vegas, not against Vegas. So I'm right now I'm staying away from this game. I was actually shooting our good friend John Desler, who owns one of the best bars in the country, not just college bars, one of the best bars in the library. I mean, that place could swallow up, my old place in the industry.
That's where
like 3 times.
Didn't Katy Perry did the cannonball off of it? I think, right?
She not a cannonball, but she like crowd surfed.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, and then who's the gymnast at LSU?
Lily Dunn.
She was, I mean, the library. It's epic. Oh, he played corner at Ole Miss, and started like 30 some odd games. I think he may be the last Caucasian corner in the Southeastern Conference.
Yeah, you don't see a lot.
But anyway, I was just texting him about this game, and he's like, man, these dudes are confident. I mean, they don't think, they believe they're going in to win a game. So when you, and there's a big difference there, man. But I'm with you. If America's all over Ole Miss, I'm not going to feel good about it, but I'd go the other way.
Yeah, and Alabama's still got players. I mean, they've still got the better roster. I don't think there's any doubt about that. And
what was McClellan doing on that one blitz pickup? It was like Olay, man. I mean,
yeah, they backs aren't blocking right now. The offensive line is not good. There's a lot of issues, a lot to clean up, but in Saban, a lot of these guys trust. So we will see what happens there. Do you have Dion on anything coming up in the future? Do you think you'll be on a Colorado game?
Yeah, I've got a feeling at least one. I mean, he's the biggest story going right now in college football.
No doubt. Should be.
And Jay Norvell, I mean, he needs to stroke Jay Norvell a check, or just bring that dude, just drive him a bank truck full of cash. Because did you see that story? How many sets of sunglasses?
Yeah, the blenders.
Like 1.5 million pair of sunglasses that he had. It's his brand.
Hey, you and I, we suck at tech. But my this AI stuff or whatever the hell's going on, these algorithms, all of my laptops pop up nothing but blender sunglasses now because we had a couple of conversations about it.
I'm telling you, it's crazy, man. I mean, it's absolutely insane. But I'll tell you this, America's all over them now. I got burned against Nebraska. I had Nebraska plus a 3. I mean, I was with Vegas, and Vegas got hard. And then last week, I was with Vegas because they needed Colorado State plus a 24 big. So they made it back. This week, they're going to need Oregon. Like, I'm telling you, there will be more tickets written on Colorado. Buddy of mine at Caesars told me this weekend, again, third straight weekend, than any NFL game that they'll have.
Well, I've already given it out. Lanceslock.com, jump on board, but I'm going to go on to give you a free one. Not only Oregon minus the 21, Oregon team total over 45.5. I think Oregon scores 60.
Dude, oh my God, Kelly Stauffer, he's our color analyst from Seattle Seahawk. I know you remember, but there's a younger
Colorado State, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. He was so into it last week, man. His boys are that close, but he mentioned the same exact total for Oregon. We had Oregon against Texas Tech, man. Bo Nix is a whole different quarterback.
He is, man. I
mean, his adopted brother, the Tasmanian Devil. Johnson can flat out fly. They got 2 backs that can tote it. I mean, Bucky Irving is just, I mean, Joey McGuire wouldn't shut up about him. He goes, I don't know how to stop this guy. I mean, they did. They bottled him up, but Bo Nix had a field day. And that defense, they got 3 dudes up front that are going to play in the National Football League. Get ready. He said the exact same number. He said Oregon will hang 60 on Colorado.
Somebody told me I was crazy, but I've been watching this Oregon offense. I've seen this Colorado defense without Travis Hunter. The depth is going to start to get to them as the season moves on a little bit.
And then you're USC boy next week.
Oh, man. I said this, though. So I'm planning on going down to Auburn for Georgia-Auburn next weekend. But for whatever reason, if Oregon loses to Colorado, I've got a ticket for USC Colorado. I will immediately book a ticket to Denver, and I will go to that game. I don't think there's a chance in hell they beat Oregon. But if they do, hey, and back to Bo Nix, man. Bo Nix would start for 13 of 14 SEC schools right now.
Different quarterback.
Only outside of LSU. And I think that's the best thing that ever happened to him. Sadly, he wanted to play for his dad's alma mater. He grew up a huge Auburn fan. He got off to a bang week 1 against Oregon, his first ever start. But then it's like the fans turned on him. It just wasn't a good fit. He goes out. He goes about as far away from Auburn as he can. And
literally
reinvent it, man. I mean, this guy right now on mock drafts is going in the first round as a quarterback. I never thought the guy would sniff the NFL, but he is a different player altogether, and I love seeing it.
Yeah, he's got the arm strength to throw to all 3 levels. But he's such a leader, man. You just watch him behind the bench. I hunkered down there because Dan Lanning's cool. I love this guy, man. He's not afraid to talk it. Remember what he said when Colorado left, with the first one to leave, right?
Oh, yeah. What have they ever done in this conference?
He goes, what have they done in the last 25 years?
It's legitimate.
And then he didn't back off of it on Monday at his press conference.
Yeah, and I don't know if you saw, Dion was asked about that, and Dion, instead of making it personal, was like, yeah, Oregon's good. He's not doubling down on this because Dion knows talent.
What Lanning was talking about also was pre-Dion, right?
That's true, yeah.
But so Dion understands that. But look, it's fun for us to talk about. But Lanning, man, he's not afraid, and he will talk some noise, dude. And he's just. But going back to Nick's, I mean, you remember Wilson Love, assistant strength coach at Alabama, now strength coach out at Oregon.
Yeah.
Little crazy, the dude, madman, right? He had the championship belt always on the sidelines. You know, I asked him, give me one guy that people that you were surprised when you got here, that was the first dude in the weight room, last guy out, holding everyone accountable in that setting. He leaned in and went, Bo Nix, and winked. I went, come on, man. Seriously? He goes, I promise you, first guy in, last guy out. And if you're cheating on a rep, he's holding you accountable. Now, would you have ever guessed with all those dudes that it would be Bo Nix? He's a leader, man. He is.
Dude, I mean, you and I were getting minor in possession tickets at 20. And so we were doing dumbass stuff on the strip in Tuscaloosa. But, watching Bo Nix, everybody got onto him about his body language. And I'm just like, we were doing dumbass shit at 20. But this guy has.
My mom just walked by. She remembers all that stuff.
Oh, yeah. I'm sure. Yeah. But I mean, look, you hope to mature, and it looks like Bo Nix has really matured. He's a leader. It's a perfect fit. I think that Oregon team, I don't think defensively they're there yet. Shedeur Sanders is really good. I think they will put up some points, but I think ultimately Oregon just way too much on offense.
I completely agree with you, man.
Hey, have you seen an elite team in college football this year?
Florida State's pretty close, I know, but it has a red bandana game, last week. So I'm going to kind of throw that one out, because that would mean so much to Boston College.
Yeah, man. I mean, they play like – I don't know if you ever saw the movie Diggstown with Louis Gossett Jr. And James Woods. And he has to fight the 12 guys in a day. And so they pay off the two brothers to throw the fight. And the one is so obvious that they tell him, I think it's Bruce Stern is the other character. He's like, if you don't win this fight, we're going to kill your brother, basically. And so he goes out there and he scraps like a dog. And that's the effort we saw from Boston College. It was.
Yeah, and he ends up losing. And
in Boston College was.
Who was, by the way, Alvin Mack in the program, and also Stone Hands and Unnecessary Roughness.
Okay, guess what? I have never seen either one of those movies.
Hold on.
I'm not. Okay, so Diggstown.
Hold on. Just shut up for a second. I almost dropped an F-bomb. Dude, you've never seen the program?
Nope.
Are you kidding me?
I am not
Darnell
kidding.
Jefferson?
I am not. I know Omar Epps is in it. James Caan's in it. I know it's like the look is Florida State. The stadium is South Carolina. Yeah, I've never seen it.
The dude from, River Runs Through It's the quarterback.
Oh, the guy opposite of Brad Pitt, Craig Sheffer. Craig Sheffer.
She's in it.
Okay, so here's what I'm good at. Not only celebrity birthdays. You throw a celebrity birthday at me, I can get it.
You're dead to me since you've never seen the program.
I'm good at Rotten Tomatoes.
Awful movies.
I bet the program did not get over 42%. I'm going to go 42% on Rotten Tomatoes. Let's just check it real quick.
I just said it's a great, awful movie.
Okay.
You know how some like Roadhouse, great, awful movie.
Oh, but man, I mean, Roadhouse, yeah, but that is a great, awful movie. I doubt the program is a great, awful movie.
I'm telling you, Halle Berry's in it also, by the way. It's a great, awful movie.
The program, let's see here.
I'm telling you. I don't care what Rotten Tomatoes says. I wish we were live right now. We'd have phone lines are open. I mean, you need to go.
What did I say, though, on Rotten Tomatoes?
42.
43. Again, I'm good at this.
I know you are. You know your movies. But I'm just telling you, it's a great, awful movie. Go watch it.
Okay, I forgot the reason we brought up. Oh, so we were talking about Diggstown. Yeah, I'm not a big sports movie guy, though. Although Diggstown is based a little on boxing, it's more about grifters, and it's more about the sting there at the end. I mean, good sports movies to me. I like Bull Durham.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
I believe in the soul.
Raging Bull was really good. That's more critically acclaimed, but it's based on a true story. It was really good. North Dallas 40. I thought that's my favorite football movie. I don't know what your favorite football movie is.
That's number one all time. I mean, because it's based on the Dallas Cowboys and Roger Staubach, the All-American kid coming in, Dandy Don Meredith, all that stuff. You know, we actually had, what was the wide receiver's name? Nick Nolte's character?
Yep. Oh, it was, oh my gosh, give me a second.
I read the book. The guy, so his character wrote the book, North Dallas 40, which was then turned into a movie. And we had him on with Herb Street and I did in Columbus. And he actually said, marijuana saved my life.
Wow.
This dude was, I mean, But yeah, that is, the book's fantastic. The movie is almost as good. I mean, that's up there as close to number one. Major League. I mean, come on, dude.
Yeah, I like Major League better. It hasn't held up as well.
You're crazy.
I think Bull Durham's so much better.
Remember the Titans?
No.
8 men out. No one remember the Titans.
Hokey.
Gee, it's based on
Miracle Hokey. Just don't get Disney involved with any sports movies.
You're crazy.
Bad idea.
I think everything Disney does is perfect.
Okay. Well, yeah, that's your company. I forgot. I'm talking about more for the they always have to sensationalize one of these sports movies. They put in some kind of angle. It's not even needed. If I asked you this, by the way, it's the original Roundtable, ESPN's Ian Fitzsimmons. I'm Lance Taylor. It's brought to you by MyBookie. Use that code next round. Secure first deposit bonus on the house. That is at mybookie.ag. Where was I going with this?
I don't know, but you and I had Herman Boone on. You remember that?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
The real life Herman Boone, and he told us the final score in that game was not like 10-7 or whatever the hell in the movie it was. I think they beat him like, what did he say, like 55-3, and they were upset they gave up the 3.
And Disney's got to put this drama in. I know what I was going to ask you, though. Better chance of being completely out of the college football playoff after this weekend. Alabama at home against Ole Miss, Clemson hosting Florida State, or Ohio State going to go into Notre Dame.
No, because Ohio State still has enough meat on the bone. You know,
they do, but I mean, I find it hard to believe they're going to navigate the Big Ten if they lose this game to Notre Dame.
They could. You know, they've got enough out there to still be able to make a run, and they have a title game. Notre Dame's up there too, man, because Notre Dame does not have that conference championship game to get that one extra. You know,
but they do have USC. They go to Clemson. I mean, they've still got some quality games.
But Clemson, that's the one. If they lose, they're out. They're done. I mean, obviously Bama is as well, but. You know, with the way America's piling up on Ole Miss right now, I would expect Bama to win that game. I just love how you said one dude is at coronary stroke level.
Stroke level.
Isn't that amazing though? Nick Saban, the greatest to ever coach. Forget Bud Wilkinson and what was his win streak, like 46 games, whatever.
A lot,
it was,
yeah, 56, I think.
Whatever it was. I mean, JV to what this guy has accomplished, more than the Bear, more than anybody. In an 85 scholarship era, right, where Bud and the boys, they could stockpile their rosters. They didn't care. They had 150 guys just so, you know, they couldn't go play against you. You know, the transfer portal, everything. And you have people talking about having a stroke because they've lost a game and they didn't play well in a win. That
it just means more down here, Ian. You know that.
Did you see Mike Tomlin's comments about, you know, the fans are booing the offense and saying fire Matt Canada, and he comes back, we're in the entertainment business and we want our fans just fat and happy even after we get a win. I love Mike Tomlin.
Hey, they cover
fans right now.
We had the Pittsburgh Steelers on Monday night. Hey, do me a favor. We're gonna let you roll. You're heading to Salt Lake. Big matchup.
I got Jets
UCLA
Patriots too, dude. I got red eye.
Oh,
so I got to fly out tomorrow, go back to the Wasatch Front, see some old friends, eat a lot of great food, try not to add up another chin, and then red eye 11:30 wheels up to Newark, New Jersey, check into wherever hotel they've got me, shower, change suits, Pats Jets. Let's go, baby.
Wow, man, that's a big game for 0-2s. Not a lot of expectation now with the Jets, but that Jets defense against Mac Jones without much of supporting cast, that should be interesting. Okay, so quickly on Salt Lake City. Fox's Brock Heward, they're doing the TV side. ESPN, You guys are doing the radio side. He told me that Kyle Whittingham, a guy that you know well, works out every day of the year. I said, what about Christmas and Thanksgiving? On principle, I'll never do that. And he said, I'll find out for you. Do you already know the answer?
It has been over 4,000 consecutive days of some form of exercise with Kyle Whittingham. Over 4,000, whether it's a walk, a run, free weights, Peloton, a hike, skiing, whatever. He has done some form of exercise for over 4,000 days. And I actually talked to him yesterday on Tuesday, and I said, what is it about working out that much? Why do you have to do something every day? He said, 1, feeds the mind. 2, I eat like a pig. You know that. I went, you still crushing Tex-Mex? He said 3 times a week. That's why he has to exercise, dude, because he's destroying enchiladas and
It's
burritos.
the only reason I exercise. I agree. It is good for the mind. But for me to be able to pound Bud Lights and to be able to eat Tex-Mex all of the time, like I'm doing Taco Mama, our boy Will Haver, who, by the way, is blowing up. I think they got like 1,000 of those things now. But I eat it 3 times a week. I really do.
How about our boy Haver? From Odie's Taco Mama, that dude's swimming in money, man. I mean,
you know,
like using hundos.
Yeah, he'll never let you know that, though. You know, they got a second Odie's now.
That's what we
Did you know? Do you know we've got another Odie's?
What?
Yeah, they put one in Homewood, right there in Edgewood.
Of course.
Yes.
That first one, though, it's like a magic wand was waved over that place. You know, you got the vodka Viking and moms that come in with their kids in the middle of the day, right? And then the husbands come home from work and the moms go home, and then next thing you know, the band cranks up and it gets medieval. You mean it's like you can't
vodka Vicodin. No, it's the same way in Homewood. It's the Homewood crowd and the Mountain Brook crowd.
And they just walk home or take their golf carts.
That's the way to do it. Okay, enjoy Salt Lake, enjoy Newark if you can. We always appreciate it, man. Always fun. It's the original Roundtable presented by Lance's Lock. Jump on board again. We're crushing it. We're continue to crush for you. Make sure you text me and put pics, and I'll send them to you, Ian. I'll try to remember myself, but safe travels, man. We'll talk next week.
On principle, hey, always remember. Crocky J.
Crocky J.